In today's modern world, one cannot deny the power and essentiality of the internet. This is only natural. The internet serves as a bridge for people around the globe to communicate information through what we know of as the digital world. Public access, instant communication, accurate information, and freedom of speech. Intuitively, this is a seemingly perfect era. But as all things that exist, they always come with a catch. Digital addiction. Characterized by excessive and compulsive use of digital technologies, it possesses significant negative effects on both individuals and the society. According to several studies, individuals may experience physical, mental, cognitive, and behavioral issues due to digital addiction. With regards to this matter, the society currently faces challenges such as decreased social interactions, reduced empathy, and increased mental health concerns due to excessive technology use, especially among minors. Welcome, everyone. Today, we are diving deep into an issue that affects millions of people: digital addiction. So tell us, how were you able to overcome digital addiction?
Allow me to tell you a story on how it all began.
This is Vin, a once vibrant individual, full of life, who was always the center of attention at social gatherings. Known for his infectious laughter and lively spirit, he excelled in his studies, maintained a healthy lifestyle, and had a close-knit relationship with family and friends. However, as digital technologies became increasingly integrated into daily life, Vin found himself gradually drawn into their allure.
It all started innocently. Social media, games, online videos, these are all just for fun. I stopped caring about the real world. Social gatherings felt like a chore, and I began making excuses to avoid them. Before I even knew it, those minutes turned into hours. I found myself staying up late into the night, eyes glued to the screen. Sleep is no longer a priority. I started missing meals, too absorbed in the digital world to bother getting proper care of myself. My grades began to drop, but I kept telling myself I could catch up later. It was always late. I stopped caring about the real world. Social gatherings felt like a chore, and I began making excuses to avoid them. My friends would invite me out, but I preferred the company of my virtual space. My health deteriorated, I lost weight, my skin became pale, and dark circles appeared under my eyes. I felt tired all the time, but the moment I picked up my phone or sat down at my computer, I was wide awake again. I would walk through crowded places and see people everywhere with their heads down, eyes fixed on their screens. They were surrounded by others, but it was as if they were completely alone, absorbed in their digital worlds. Social gatherings, which once buzzed with laughter and conversation, became silent as people buried themselves in their phones, scrolling and tapping away. The contrast was alarming for me. In the online world, their lives seemed perfect, but in reality, they were just as disconnected and isolated as I was. It was as if everyone was wearing a mask, projecting an idealized version of themselves that hid their true loneliness and dissatisfaction. Seeing this widespread digital addiction made me realize how pervasive and insidious the problem had become. It wasn't just my issue, it was a societal epidemic. This realization hit me hard, and I knew something had to change. Not just for me, but for everyone else, especially my friends and family.
At his lowest point, Vin decided to take control. He began to detox from the digital world, gradually reconnecting with reality.
It was very difficult, but it all started when I realized that I had to change for the betterment of myself and for the people around me.
So, what was the wake-up call for you to realize that?
The realization of how deeply I was into digital addiction around me was the wake-up call. The realization of how deep I had fallen into digital addiction and how widespread the issue was around me was the wake-up call. That was when I decided to start small. The The first step was limiting my screen time. I set strict boundaries for myself, no screens an hour before bed and after waking up. And I installed apps that monitored and restricted my usage. It was difficult at first. I felt restless and anxious, constantly itching to check my phone, but I stayed committed. I began picking up the old hobbies that I had previously abandoned. I dusted off my guitar and started playing music again, something that used to bring me immense joy. I also took up reading physical books, which helped me escape the digital trap while enriching my mind. Slowly, I rediscovered the pleasures of these offline activities. The more time I spent away from screens, the more I felt my old self returning. Meeting friends in person was another crucial step. I started saying yes to social invitations and even initiated meetups. At first, it was awkward. I struggled with the urge to check my phone constantly. But gradually, face-to-face interactions became more fulfilling. Conversations flowed more naturally, and I reconnected with people on a deeper level. These real-life connections started to fill the void that digital interactions never could. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. The colors of life began to return, and I felt more alive and present than I had in a long time.
As integration of Vin's resolution, here's how he did it. First, set screen time limits. Second, engage in offline activities. Third, socialize in person. And lastly, a digital detox. Digital addiction is a growing concern, but with awareness and effort, we can all find a healthy balance. It's easy to get lost in the allure of digital media, the constant updates, the endless stream of information, and the instant gratification. However, we must remind ourselves that there's a vibrant, tangible world beyond our screens, full of experiences waiting to be lived. Consider the beauty of nature, the rustle of leaves in the wind, the warmth of the sun on your skin, and the calming sounds of a flowing river. Think about the joy of a heartfelt conversation with a friend, the laughter shared over a meal, or the satisfaction of a hobby well pursued. These real-world experiences offer a depth and richness that digital interactions often lack. By becoming more aware of our digital habits and making conscious efforts to limit our screen time, we can reclaim these precious moments. It's about finding balance where technology enhances our lives without overshadowing the real-life experiences that truly matter. Small steps like setting screen time limits, engaging in offline activities, prioritizing face-to-face interactions, and taking regular digital detoxes can make a significant difference. The real world is out there, waiting for you to experience it. It's in the laughter of your friends, the beauty of the natural world, and the satisfaction of personal achievement. So let's make a commitment to reconnect with it, one step at a time.